This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by AWeber. AWeber is the easy way to do email marketing, create newsletters, capture leads, and do all of your email marketing needs. If you want to learn more, head on over to raythevideoguy.com/AWeber. And on today's show, we have two very special guests. We have Scott Powell and Eric Williamson, and these are two guys who make their living using video and doing local marketing. So we're really excited to discuss exactly what they're doing and the successes that they've had. So it should be fun.
Should be a good show.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
It's the online marketing radio show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness and get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. And you can also go to videomarketingmadnessradio.com, subscribe to us on iTunes, and get all kinds of freebies from Ray. We're live Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Join the conversation at 818-369-1423. Ray's video marketing tip of the week coming up at the end of the show. Scott, how are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, thank you. And how are you?
Oh, good. We can kind of hear, you're in your car, right?
I am, but I'm going to park here in a second, so I'm not giving you any moving noise.
Okay, yeah, it's a little noisy. And then Eric, Scott, you're in North Carolina, and then Eric, you're in Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is hot.
It is hot there. So you're not sitting out in your car?
Not at all.
Okay. I don't blame you. What's the temperature there in Phoenix?
Today we will hit a high of the century mark, 100.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
It's a dry heat.
Right.
Very dry.
And that's why it hits 100 if you had a lot of humidity. A lot of humidity actually cools it off, even though it doesn't feel like it. The temperature in humid environments rarely gets above 100. Like Miami. It just feels like it's 1,000 degrees, that's all.
Well, when I first moved here, they told me, it's a dry heat, and I said, wow, this is still hot. When your car gets 120 degrees.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Still hot.
Yeah, it's still hot when your car gets totally oxidized because you left it outside.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Why don't we go ahead and get into news of the week? Scott, you still there?
I am. I've got a big truck passing by, so I'll just be quiet while you do the news.
Okay, well that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds fine. We appreciate you joining us, albeit from your car. So if y'all hear something kind of funky, that's why. Or it could be me. News of the week. Okay, this is from RealSEO.com. Is Google testing site links for YouTube videos? Ray, I know you read this story too. You had commented on it on your Facebook page. Now, they saw it with some stuff having to do with the Letterman channel, okay? Site links are useful for the consumer. They're incredibly important for the brand because they push the other listings on the page lower, giving the domain a more prominent slice of the first page real estate. They've been around for 10 years, and again, the author that wrote this story at Real SEO saw it for some stuff having to do with David Letterman, and he didn't really find it for anything else, but he just wonders if they're testing it, because it would have huge implications for brands, marketers, creators, and internet users. By the way, if you don't know what site links are, they're the little subheads below the description snippet in Google in the web search results. Hugely valuable for the top branded listings, as I said before, push the results a bit lower. You take up more real estate, and it gives shortcuts to content. So on the Letterman video, it says there's a Medal of Honor recipient, Corporal Kyle Carpenter, with the YouTube link, and then the description, and then underneath it, the site links had under attack, like it was a page almost,
Right.
Different parts of the video were the site links. So that was, now he said he couldn't find it other than for the Letterman stuff.
And now Letterman's gone, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Letterman's gone. And Letterman was getting a lot of press this past week and views and ratings and stuff because he was retiring.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to see. I mean, on their part, I think that would make sense because, let's face it, the goal of YouTube isn't to promote your video, it's to get people to go to YouTube so they can make money.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can use your content and put it up prominently like that, it only makes sense for them, and it makes sense for you as well. So it could be a pretty interesting little thing if they start to do that more often.
I would imagine it would be for very engaging content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So
we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm still waiting to figure out how I get those gigantic thumbnails once in a while. So, we may never know.
Those seem to be pretty much for music videos, but I see them for some other things too.
Well, that's what they're meant for. They're meant for official movie trailers, official music videos from artists, things like that. But every once in a while, something gets triggered where they think this is the official video for something, and they'll do that. It tends to be a combination of authority on that one video and not a lot else to put for that search.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, which for local marketing, it makes sense because in most places, when you search a local, market for a tree cutter or something, there's not going to be a lot of really relevant results. They're going to be kind of grasping at straws. So it kind of makes sense that would happen in smaller areas with more niche local businesses and things like that.
Yeah. But we don't really know the formula for doing that, do we?
Sadly, no. I've got a lawyer video that's had it for, over a year now. So it's you never know.
We have a sign company video that has that, and I called all of my guys the other day and asked them who had optimized that video because we don't know how it happened. But we're happy that it happened, and so is our client.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've got a lawyer video in a tiny little town that has that, and it's like, man, that's just awesome. And I've got a couple products that have had that too.
Yeah.
But we don't know why.
Someday. There was a rumor that somebody had supposedly figured it out and had a course that taught it, but when I tried following links to the supposed course, it didn't really exist. It did exist. It was on Udemy, and I looked into it, and it had no information on that at all.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Well, Eric is actually the more technical of the two of us, so I suspect that Eric had something to do with it, but he'll probably never own up to it.
Yeah, there you go. Keep it secret.
What'd you do, Eric?
I will not reveal that secret under oath.
He doesn't know. Yeah.
It was magic.
It was magic. There we go. SearchEngineWatch.com. Has Google turned up social signals as a ranking factor?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay, they don't do announcements on search updates, and they did one on this, I guess. Some algorithm tweaks. Came out and admitted there's been a change to the core algorithm related to how quality signals work when measuring content quality. It's not Panda related, which has normally been the case on that, but it's not Panda related. What else does it say? Google has otherwise said very little in real terms, but has admitted that it's part of the core algorithm. That's basically it. Okay. And here's what they can tell us from this article in SearchEngineWatch.com. There is an increasing correlation between how long people stay on a site and how well that site ranks for that keyword group. Okay.
No surprises there.
Yeah. I think he's connecting the dots here, the author. They struck a deal with Twitter to show tweets in real time.
Which, I mean, honestly, that's not even very useful as far as that goes anyway.
That's what he said, too, but he's just connecting some dots. He also says that later in the article.
Because even Google admitted it's almost impossible for them to use Twitter or Facebook as a way to help rank things, because by the time they even know that the content's there, it's, ancient,
Well, he does say it's very early days. Now, this is, I guess it's anecdotal because it's just what's the author's name? Simon Penson. Very early days, but Facebook engagement metrics and Google +1s appear to be leading the charge.
And that's a little bit different. Yeah, when you get in the +1s and the likes and stuff like that, that's a little bit different because they're actually voting for content, which makes sense. That should help.
Yes. Okay.
But as far as indexing actual Facebook, they're never going to. Well, I shouldn't say never, but it's highly likely they never will do that.
And then great content improves time on site and promotes social sharing.
Absolutely. We like that.
I'm pulling out bits and pieces of that article, but
one of the things I've discovered, and I was hoping that it would be the opposite, is the Facebook videos don't seem to rank in Google at all.
Right.
Completely don't even seem to be indexed, and I don't know if anybody else, has evidence to show otherwise, but I've found nothing that shows that they're even indexing when you put up a video on Facebook, because it does have a YouTube-like page, so you would think that would get indexed and rank, but no, it doesn't seem to be.
Eric, Scott, what have you found anything?
No, but next time I talk to Mark Zuckerberg, I'll let him know that we need some link juice when we're putting our videos on his Facebook.
Yeah, somebody needs to, because it only makes sense. They want to get into this video market. They've really got to. They got to do that. But of course, it might be a Google thing as much as it is a Facebook thing.
Well, I think they need to work together to make it happen, because it's in the best interest of all of us.
Yeah, tell them when you see him that Sleep said hi. Hey, said hey.
Hey,
Sleep
yeah.
said hey. And that I've got a barbecue grill older than him.
All right, I got you.
Okay, and then along the lines of what's going on with the Google algorithm, the Google Maps bomb fixed? ? This is from SearchEngineLand.com. Days after Google apologized for the Google Maps Google bomb racist results, it seems the local search results have drastically shifted. And they don't know if it's related to the Google bomb algorithm update or something else.
Google bomb.
Whoops.
Did I hear a toilet flush?
Not that I know of.
Not on my end.
Okay. I thought I heard a toilet flush.
Is that Zuckerberg's feelings about your barbecue?
Oh, wait a minute. There's the toilet flush.
Now, I definitely heard it that time.
Okay.
I did too.
All right.
The Google bomb. The Google bomb.
Okay, this is from Search Engine Land. 75% of Google's mobile search revenues come from Apple devices. This is from a report from, the author was reading a story in the New York Times on the future of Android, and kind of buried in the story was this tidbit. A recent analysis by Goldman Sachs estimated that Google collected about $11.8 billion on mobile search ads in 2014, 75% coming from ads on iPhones and iPads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by that one bit. You know, I know that Google likes to go, well, look, we've got 51% share of the mobile operating system market. Yeah, well, that's because people give away your phones. You know, I mean, and honestly, think about, I need to have a cell phone. Well, here's a free, here, I'm Verizon. Here's your free phone, and it runs, the Google update. But a lot of those people aren't really tech savvy users. They're just people that need a phone.
You're talking droids.
Yeah. And so a lot of the traffic, even though the sheer numbers might be, 51% on that, because a lot of those are the giveaway phones and things like that. A lot of people don't use them for purposes other than making phone calls, and so therefore, the people that are kind of the connoisseurs, they're buying the iPhones, they're buying the Samsung S5s and things like that, and so that's where your traffic is going to come from, is the people that are more the power users.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Google had just over $59 billion in ad revenues for 2014 based on the company's 10K filing. That would mean, if the Goldman estimates are right, that about 20% of Google's revenue is coming from mobile search ads, $8.8 billion from iOS devices, from iPads and iPhones. In 2013, Morgan Stanley estimated that Google paid Apple over $1 billion annually for the privilege of being the Safari default.
Oh, that's cool.
And
so I wonder.
No, go ahead.
So I wonder, how much did Yahoo have to pay into Firefox to be the default search?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question.
In that situation, it was probably the opposite. Listen, we'll pay you. We just need we need to associate ourselves with somebody.
I think that there are numbers out there that show that the search volume has increased for Yahoo since that change.
Oh yeah, it absolutely has. They've jumped up quite a bit. I mean, we're still talking Google at 75% or something crazy like that, but they've moved up. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know they did. There was a story about them moving up quite a bit.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember the numbers. There was a spike, and then it's come down, but it's still higher than it was before.
Well, from what I've heard, Bing is the one that is really making a hard charge right now. Have you guys been hearing that too?
Yeah,
I have. And I think both of them. Obviously, they're the same service, but
right.
Yeah, they're both making quite a charge.
For some reason, I remember the number that between the two of them, it's 28%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I knew it was like 25 or 28.
And don't quote me on that number, but that's a number I've got in my head. And I don't drink anymore or use drugs, or so. So anyhow, Google could be very vulnerable because a lot of their income's coming from Mac devices, from Apple devices. If they were to bounce that would be bad. And there is talk that maybe Apple wants to get in the search business. That's speculation, totally. And Google's doing everything they can to maintain its relationship with Apple.
And they should.
Yeah.
And it's surprising because Apple has 800 million reasons that they shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
But and it's it has nothing to do with search even. I mean, Google has proven to not be the most ethical in some ways. I know their slogan used to be "Don't be evil," but when you're on the board of directors of a company and you like their idea, so you go and make it yourself, and compete against them, that's probably not being the most honest.
In the world, yeah. I think the quote was, "We don't need to be the evil empire," but that's not always the case. So,
yeah, what are you going to do? You know,
I can't do anything.
Speculate.
Yeah, speculate. SearchEngineWatch.com in Facebook news. Facebook's Yelp alternative blurs lines between social and search. Facebook is piloting a new program that will bring reviews from top food publications to select restaurant pages across America, hot on the heels of partnering with media outlets like BuzzFeed and the New York Times to publish contents for instant articles. Well, that was a car going by.
That was that time.
Yeah, okay.
Where the toilet came from.
Well, it kind of sounds a little bit like, but not so much. Okay. Hot on the heels of partnering with BuzzFeed and the New York Times to publish content for instant articles. Facebook is partnering with trusted foodie publications like New York Magazine's Grub Street and Eater.com to showcase restaurant reviews alongside search results for restaurant pages. Along with professional reviews, Facebook will publish reviews from users' Facebook friends along with crowdsourced opinions from Facebook users. Enhanced review features seem to be a strategic move on Facebook's part to move into local search and service areas, an area currently dominated by sites like Yelp. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Sure.
I wanted to make a comment that Yelp is not my friend. And I'm being very political when I say my friend, because their techniques are not ethical when it comes to that local small business trying to use the Yelp feature of reviews.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were investigated by the FTC, if I remember correctly. They were investigated because supposedly if you want your good reviews to stick, you got to pay them. Otherwise, they let the bad reviews take over. And if I remember correctly, the FTC investigated them and didn't find anything wrong. But I know a number of guys like you that if a client hasn't opened up a Yelp page yet, they tell them not to.
Correct.
Yeah, Yelp is definitely an interesting cat. We've talked about this many times on there. They drive me crazy because if I post a bad review about something, they tend to post that. Mm-hmm. If I post a nice review, they put it in their little, suspicious sandbox thingy there that, this must be his mom or something, Yeah. And it's like every single time. If I say something nice, nope, doesn't get posted.
And if you know Ray, he's a nice guy. He only says something nice unless it has to do with his Toro lawnmower.
That's right. No, it's not true. I'm not nice at all. Yeah. I'm nice when I need to be.
Yeah. He's nice to me because my feelings get hurt. He made me cry one time, so he's always been nice to me. Ray had a Toro, and he was trying to get some warranty servicing done on it, and they wouldn't cooperate. So if you Google, what's the term, Toro sucks or something? I don't know.
No, I think at the time, it used to be, you used to be able to just type Toro lawnmower, and it would come up, but I think it's dropped the second page now. I'm not even sure. I haven't checked in ages, but
Toro
I think if you put lawnmower reviews or Toro lawnmower reviews or something, it'll pop up there right away.
There's a pithy little video with music and everything, him in cartoons, and him talking about he bought this Toro and it never worked.
Yeah, so if you got under reviews, it's on page 1, and it was like on the top of page 1 for the term Toro lawnmowers for a year.
Yeah,
and they still never did anything.
And they didn't care. They didn't care. The president of I was told directly that the president of the company was well aware of my video, and I said to the lady, and yet he's still done absolutely nothing.
And she didn't really have an answer for that, but, you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you should have seen this video. Yeah, just Google Toro lawnmower reviews. It's pretty funny. From Bloomberg, Facebook, we're on a Facebook kick here. Facebook might consider business-to-consumer chat for WhatsApp. It'll allow businesses to contact users through the WhatsApp. Maybe that's how they're going to make money from its messaging service. WhatsApp is being tested in Facebook Messenger. Business-to-consumer interaction that marketers could pay for. They acquired WhatsApp for $22 billion. They're trying to decide how they can make money from it.
Nice toy, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. And
own everything.
Yeah, own everything. And this is from Mobile Marketer. Marketers must boost video outreach amid surging data usage. And basically what's happening is a lot of people are using their smartphones on the indoor Wi-Fi networks so that they can get better phone calls and stuff. And they're starting to use a lot more big data type services like videos. That's what the article's saying. Juniper Research Report, Mobile Data Offload and Onload, Wi-Fi, Small Cell, and Network Strategies, 2015 to 2019. I think they should have made the title of that report longer. The average monthly data usage will double in the next 5 years, bolstered by the rise in 4G adoption and high-def video, and also in the use of Wi-Fi networks more and more on the smartphones. And so it's an opportunity to share video content. Earth-shattering.
Shocking.
Shocking. That's one of those, duh, and you paid for that? Ray, you got any news?
No. You hit it all.
And now for something completely different.
Yes, and now for something completely different. I'm really excited about today's show, and the main reason for that is I love having people on that are actually doing some of the things that we talk about in so many of our different mediums here, whether it's through emails or radio shows or videos. And so I've got two good guests who are actually doing all the things that we talk about with local marketing and with video. So Eric and Scott, welcome to the show today. I'm glad to have you guys on.
Well, thank you very much.
So let me.
You kind of sounded like Elvis.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I am Southern.
That's right.
So let me start by asking you this. Give us a little brief overview of exactly what type of business you guys have so we kind of understand the types of things you're doing.
Okay. I think that would be best answered by Eric, the architect.
Thanks, Ray. The element that we offer is the local client, the local business owner, the ability to rank videos and devour or dominate the entire page of YouTube to definitely deliver a first page result on Google and bring in that whole element of the press release and a media citation, all for an affordable price. And like you said, Ray, actually deliver.
Nice. So let me ask you this. When you talk about dominating the first page, we're talking what, maps, we're talking videos, we're talking other articles and pages and things?
Well, we can dominate in you.
Well, the very first discovery that we were able to make is that we met in a video ranking class. And when I got into that class, Ray, there were 500 people that had paid $500 to learn how to do this. And when I entered that class, I looked at the first page of YouTube and saw 20 positions on page 1. And so I naively began to ask people, well, you guys are teaching me how to get one video on this first page, but there's 19 others. Wouldn't it be better to deliver up to 20 videos on the first page of YouTube for your local client instead of one? And everybody laughed at me because they understood, because they had experience, that YouTube's algorithm would prevent a single individual from being able to get up to 20 videos on the first page. And so instead of being embarrassed or feeling bad or, mad because they told me to shut up and go be quiet in the corner and I might learn something, I spent the next few days trying to figure out how to get that done, and I was able to do it. And so then I ran into Eric, and so then it has just been a progression there. So what we like to look at, Ray and Steve, is that if we can go out and take the entire first page of YouTube for our local client, it's a good introduction. It's a good first shot over the bow. And so we can set the tone to completely dominate in every other way. And when we are able to deliver that, and no other marketers can, then that leaves it in our clients' minds, well, these guys are so good at that and can do this and no one else is. What else might they be able to do for us? And that leads us into being able to upsell them other services that we have.
Nice.
That about cover it, Eric?
That does.
I love it. That's fantastic. So what are some of the strategies you guys have used to be able to accomplish this? Because obviously that's a huge thing. I mean, it's something that most people can't or don't do. So what are some of the secrets, if you don't mind sharing a few of those?
That's Eric's field again. So take off, Eric.
Okay. So we definitely use a combination of a few different techniques to ensure that we stay within the terms of service of YouTube. We do not want to in any kind of way show that we are violators, and we don't manipulate. So what we do is we take on a very, and Scott will get into that later, a attitude or a mindset of cooperation. And when we bring in that mindset of cooperation versus competition, what we find is we are able to, if I could say, score the victory, because what we're able to do is put out the content that is not in duplicate, number one. Number two is put it out in such a way that it is compliant for, we're not using any kind of software to make that happen.
Right.
And we're not manipulating the actual platform for what it was designed to do. And what we do is from a centric standpoint, make sure that we are, if I could say, functioning and following all those signals, so that from the social side, we definitely get the right signals to kind of activate. And YouTube can't do anything except see our signals and see what we're doing as strictly authentic, and we rank very well.
Nice. So we're talking again, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we've got very special guests today who are talking to us about local marketing, and we've got Scott and Eric with us telling us all their secrets, giving us all the inside info.
So, no, go ahead.
Ray, I'd also like to mention, Ray, so what we did is we looked at what was the very first step that the most successful local marketers, video marketers are using, and, getting a video on YouTube and then being able to get it ranked onto Google. So we were able to do that, and then we exponentially leaped those results forward times 20 by being able to take over the first page. When you do that, then occasionally, and it depends on the niche, but when you do that, occasionally you can end up with more than one video. And the sign company that I mentioned to you earlier.
Oh, I think we lost Scott there.
Thumbnail
there he is.
On top of that Google search.
Sorry, we lost you there for a second, Scott. I think Google was trying to kill you.
That's it. Okay. So we had one, the thumbnail that I mentioned to you guys earlier about one of our sign company customers is number one, but we actually have got 3 other videos right underneath that one. And if you post up to 20 videos on YouTube, then you have a chance to be able to have more than one video on Google showing up. If you only post one video on YouTube, there's no way to be able to have multiple results on the first page of Google. So that again is just our first step. And then we wanted to take a look at what are the other packages that the most successful local marketers are delivering. They may be doing a 7-pack, the pushpin 7-pack result. Paul James is one gentleman that has been just crushing at doing that. But I couldn't find any research that showed that he was really taking advantage of YouTube and video. And so what we tried to do was put together the very best total package with a monthly press release, a media citation, a Google 7-pack result, and videos on the first page of YouTube and Google. So what we're looking to do is by far offer our local clients the very best local package that they can find and then charge less for that to give more value.
And the 7-pack, we're talking about Google My Business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or Google Maps for anybody that's been around for more than 3 weeks. Or Google Plus Local if you've been around for more than 2 weeks, or
Google Places if you're old, really old.
And if you were just here yesterday, the red dots on the result.
Oh, that's right.
Push pins.
Push pins.
Red dots.
And so the idea is, if worked correctly, the way that we have it dreamed up in our minds is we'll be able to give multiple first-page results for our local clients with the 7-pack, Google My Business, with a video, with a press release. So we're looking to have 2 or 3 results at any given time for our local clients on a regular basis. And I don't really see other local marketers being able to deliver that volume of results on page 1.
Now, with the videos, and Eric, I listened to what you were saying, so if I'm asking questions that are contradictory to what you're saying, bear with me, because I'm old. But are you building backlinks? Are you crowdsourcing views? That kind of stuff?
Yes, we are developing a network that will help us with the view component. But we definitely have our backlinks under control, and they are very high-quality backlinks as a start.
The stuff Google likes to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they'll, and correct me if I'm wrong, they will let you do some stuff with YouTube videos that maybe they won't let you do with a website. But that being said, be careful. If they see 500,000 what look like GSA links and 15 views to the video, at some point, I think it's going to get clobbered.
Yes.
It will, and we have to also consider, for all your listeners, it's not that you just opened up a channel yesterday and now you are ranking.
Right.
You have to massage and have a valuable channel that is optimized and at the same time has some authority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. So let me ask you this, because a lot of people are saying lately, and I see this all the time in our groups, is, boy, it's getting a lot harder to rank videos. They're not ranking like they used to be. And I agree, they're not ranking like they used to be. But are you guys seeing it becoming more difficult?
I would say, let me try to answer this, Scott. When we say difficult, I think that the challenging niches we find a little more rewarding, because the guys who are trying to get into those niches are doing it like all wrong. So what we what we run up against is in our challenging niches, we get clobbered one time and then we come back even stronger because that first element of clobber turns into, now we're getting some attention, and now we throw even more resources at it, and before long we find, okay, you're here to play, you're serious, so we'll stop doing that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this then. What are you finding works really well for videos these days as far as kind of your secret sauce for getting them to rank well?
The properly optimized YouTube channel first, and the right balance between an authority sites and the backlinks and a social bookmark strategy.
Nice. And now this leads into a great question about that, because you mentioned one of my personal favorite things, which is the social bookmarks. Yeah. How important do you think those are?
I feel that if you're doing your linking structure properly, the social bookmark is probably the hidden gem. So I would say that that's probably in the good 60% tile.
Nice.
For us. Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree with you. I did a case study a while back using OnlyWire, and essentially what it was a video that I had put up, and it was number one on YouTube, but it was nowhere on Google, and I couldn't figure out why. And I'm like, what in the heck? Why is this not showing up at all? And I was looking at some things, and I realized, well, I never did anything.
Right.
So I
really
did. I said, well, okay, this is a good opportunity then. So I made a little recording showing that it wasn't anywhere, and I ran it through OnlyWire, just a set of OnlyWire backlinks, bookmarks. And I figured, we'll see in an hour or 2 hours or a day, whatever. No longer than about 5 minutes later, I peeked back. It was number one on page 1 of Google. Now, granted, this wasn't for the term weight loss or anything like that. But, in fact, the fact that it was a weak keyword probably was important there, because, it allowed it to really see the swing more. But, yeah, we went from completely unindexed to number one on page 1 of Google in 5 minutes. And it may have even been quicker. That just happened to be when I peeked back and looked. And all I did was run OnlyWire on this thing. And, so 30 bookmarks or so. Oh.
Sorry about that.
So there you go.
Scott's in his car,
Hey, I'm adding.
What was that One Direction you were playing there? Or?
Adding sound effects to the show.
Scott likes the boy bands. One Direction. My daughter went from being a big Slash fan, and all these headbanger groups to One Direction. I don't know what happened. She's going through some changes. She's 18 years old, so that explains a lot. But we digress. We're talking about videos, not One Direction.
Yes, that's true.
Well, for us, we enjoy One Direction, and that is that our videos go in one direction.
There you go.
Rim shot.
And not so much whether Harry left that one group or whoever it is.
Exactly. I didn't even know if they were still around anymore. But so let me ask you this then. You also mentioned press releases being a big part of your strategies. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people are confused by press releases.
Okay. You want to take that, Scott?
Okay. Well, there's a specific use for them, which is Google page 1 release. Our experience. And so what we do, again, what we're looking to do is be able to put a total package together that serves our customers the best. So what we've decided to do is that the press releases will go up and stay for 3 or 5 days, something like that. And so instead of one deal where it's only.
Hey, are you guys? Is Scott breaking up, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Scott, So I didn't know if it was just me. I got a plate in my head, Scott. So sometimes things just break up.
Well, go.
That was a joke. I don't have a plate in my head, but
sure you don't.
Eric, you take that then. If I'm breaking up, you take it, Eric.
So we use the press release as a formula for us. In other words, it has to be peppered the right way. So we put it into our package in order to create a national footprint in those high-valued assets in terms of high domain authority websites that you can't officially go and buy without saying, look, give me some juice because of this high authority. So we incorporate the press release as in our waterfall of activity to ensure that it is not, Johnny on the spot. He just happened to just show up on his dental practice, that he's just brand new and this doesn't make any sense. It goes, wow, he's presented a video. He has an online presence with a website. His website maybe doesn't have the right elements of, his SEO is not under control. So how do we juice that? We start off with that press release that can convert and say, oh, wow, you've been picked up on these high authority websites. What else are you doing? And then you convert that and push that traffic back to his videos and say, oh, well, if you're good enough for this video ranking and I see you're active with your videos, well, now let's check your social activity. Well, wow, you're having some social activity that is, bar none, being picked up by some very high-ranked authority sites. So, you know what? I think we should see that you're an honest contender for your search term, and that's the foundation that we use in the elements of the press release. Also, one thing that Scott can chime in on is, some people use press releases for the wrong reasons. So, Scott, can you tell them about that?
Scott, you there? I think we lost Scott.
Oh, no. Google finally caught up with him.
Yeah, I think
one of those Google cars was following him around.
Yeah, I think the Russian mafia pulled him out of his car.
I think they triangulated his IP. And
I'm going to use that word more often, triangulate. I got to use that every day.
He was not using the right high-ranking IP address and has been clobbered by the competition.
He was using a Afghanistan proxy.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll explain how they're using press releases in the wrong way. Okay?
All right.
Press releases are a strategy for branding. Okay? They're not a strategy to be as a core thing of like, this is the eternal and it'll last forever. So what we find is the press releases may spark life for about, officially, probably about a 6-day push. But after that 6th day, it'll start to trail off, where those that carry your press release, hey, we got to move you off the plate and put you to someone else. But what we found is, from a historical standpoint, it has the activity, because those of you that know anything about SEO and citations, you now have an authority citation that you can leverage in the future.
Very good. And with the press releases, do you use a service for that, or do you have your own proprietary system, or how do you do that?
We don't. We are plugged in with as an affiliate to another service.
Okay. Which makes sense. Why reinvent the wheel?
Right.
I figured that's how you're going to answer that question, but I had to ask anyhow.
And you said you're an affiliate for that service?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right. Share that link. Who is it?
Yeah, well, once I get the affiliate under control, I can share it with you guys, and you guys can I don't have my affiliate link with us, so I'll do that for sure.
Ray is the big-time affiliate marketer. If it has to do with video, people will buy it because he's tested it, and it works. And I've got all kinds of stuff I use that I bought from Ray.
Awesome.
And it works. I mean, that's the good thing.
That's right. I've named my yacht the Steve Sleeper.
Hey, he's back. I can hear his car door.
You can hear it. Yeah, you see the giggle.
Yeah, the door is ajar.
Yeah. And I just like to echo what Eric was saying. We like to look at the press release of the package, and we don't put too much weight on part of it, and look at it and view it in that particular way, then any results that we're getting out of it. Plus, we're producing them monthly as a get our local marketer seen in the marketplace. And everybody's got an ego. So if we do a interview and put our customer out in the marketplace on a monthly basis, they tend to like that also. So we're giving them a little ego stroke every time we do one of those.
Nice. And that's actually, I don't think that can be overemphasized. People forget that quite a bit, is that a lot of these companies, that's exactly what it comes down to, is they want to get that little ego piece out there. They want to be interviewed. They want to be the expert. And if we can do that, then it definitely goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who doesn't like seeing their name up in lights occasionally? You know what I'm saying? So if we can provide that for them, then more than
absolutely.
So any other secrets that you guys can reveal about some of this local marketing that people can have to take away from this today?
Well, Eric, you think it's probably a good time for me to say a little bit about our cooperative approach as opposed to the competing, since we're going to be getting kind of winding down on the time?
Sure.
All right. Well, when I first got into the internet market, I looked at it in three things. Steve and Ray, I saw unlimited traffic, unlimited products, and then a middleman trying to market those two things to the public. And then I discovered that about average internet marketer was making about $1,000 a month or less. It's about 92% of the internet marketing space. And so I couldn't figure out, with those first two things going with them, how come more people weren't making more money. And then when I began to get into it myself, I believe I discovered the reason why, and that was I was completely overwhelmed. I had to try to get traffic, to get a product, to market that product, to get a website, to all what needed to be done. And it was quite frankly overwhelming. And so when I ran into Eric and shared that same idea with him, then we sort of put our minds together and came up with the idea that, hey, you know what? Team of people working together, cooperating together. And one guy kind of focused on the traffic part, and one guy kind of focused on the video part, and one guy focused on the copy part. And if we split up these tasks that the individual could not do by themselves, and we spread those things out, and we had a team, and I think everyone in the world understands the concept and the benefit of having a mastermind. And so when you bring people together, and you've got all of that brain power besides the work power. And if everybody can do 2 hours of good work a day, if you've got 5 of you, that's 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week of good quality work. So that is one of the things that has really helped our business, is the concept of working together in a team instead of working as an individual to try to make all of this stuff work. And Eric, can you let those guys know where we have got people on our team and where they're located now?
Right. So, it's all about that unlimited product, unlimited reach, and unlimited potential. So what we've done is strategically set up where we are geographically dispersed. So we're located out of India, the UK, South Africa. We also have a relationship in Singapore, and these are not individuals. Thank you. And those are
Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer, go.
That's the power of the internet. It just goes like that. And then in that, we also cover, the U.S., of course, but we actually have the ability now to support multi-languages. So we have German under our belt, Cantonese, Korean. We also have Spanish, and what's that? The one that I always get confused on. Oh, Arabic. That's it, because we read backwards in Arabic. So that aspect of being able now to support our customers from all those different demographic solutions is just incredible. And the concept of that cooperation, Steve, is that what we do in the bottom line is it doesn't matter who our client is. If they're comfortable in their native tongue and they want to communicate with us that way or with their community, we're there to support them.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and we love the fact that, like I said at the top of the show, we love the fact that you guys are actually doing all of the things that we talk about so often. Because I think a lot of people hear it, but it's good to hear, others who are actually seeing positive results and being able to put this into action. Let me ask you one last thing here in a slightly different direction. When it comes to the actual client side itself, how are you guys finding your clients?
It's kind of funny, but it's pretty straightforward. Anyone that's on page 3 and 4 of the search results, guess what? You're getting a phone call.
Nice.
Yeah, but it all starts with picking up the phone. I've always been a big believer in that.
And then what we do is...
Go ahead,
Scott.
Okay, and the nice thing about it, too, when you're working with a team instead of working by yourself, then you've got 5 different people that have got the ability to brainstorm to kind of try to find out. And maybe sometime one guy doesn't feel like he wants to pick the phone up and call the guy on page 3 and ask him if he wants to go to page 1. Well, if you're working with a team, then not everybody's going to be having a don't want to talk on the phone day on the same day.
Well said.
Yeah.
So we do have some email marketing strategies that we do, email campaigns, which are showing some activity and being effective also.
Nice. And for anybody listening, how can they learn more from you guys or get some more information?
Well, guess what? You get to go on the internet and you get to type in EpiVideologyInc.net.
Perfect.
And EpiVideology is EpiVideologyInc.net.
EpiVideology, what's the rest of it?
.net.
You have to do the ink in there, INC.
Oh, INC.net. Oops.
Oh, so EpiVideologyInc.net. Did I get it right?
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll put it in the show notes. Cool.
Excellent.
Well, guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate, Scott, I know you had to do this call from your car, so we appreciate you doing that. And Eric, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity to share with your group what we're doing in video and to help support you guys too.
Scott Powell. No, go ahead, Scott.
I would just like to echo the deep gratitude for the opportunity to come and speak with you guys, and it's the most fun I've had in the last hour that I can remember. I really had a good time talking to you guys, and I deeply appreciate it.
Oh, well, great. You must not have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've not got much of a life, but that's okay. I had fun today.
Nice.
You didn't get hit. That's good. In traffic.
That is good.
Our guests today, Scott Powell and Eric Williamson, and as I put in the show notes, Scott and Eric make a living doing marketing for local businesses with YouTube videos, and then we learned some of the other elements like the 7-pack and the press releases as well. But good advice, good information, and you can check them out at EpiVideologyInc.net. Did I say that correct?
Yay.
Close enough. Close enough to correct, and we'll have that URL in the show notes for you as well. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great afternoon.
Okay, take care.
Certainly will.
Okay, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Ray, do you have a tip of the week?
Well, of course I do.
Okay, well, and now, there you go. Tip of the week with Ray, the video guy.
Yes, it's the tip of the week. Steve, let me ask you this. Are you a high-level writer?
Oh, I'm a decent writer, but I wouldn't say high level.
How would you like to be a higher level writer?
Sure. I mean, I got a degree in journalism, so.
Well, there you go. Well, I've got an app for you that's going to help you to become a better writer.
Ooh.
And that app is called the Hemingway app. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Hemingway app, it's actually available at HemingwayApp.com. And what it is it's a nice little tool where you go in, you can put in the stuff that you're writing, and this will go through and help you to remove words that don't need to be there, help you with your grammar, help you to simplify things and make it easier to read, and it's all done in literally a few seconds. And it's actually quite useful. It'll help you to get rid of those run-on sentences and make them easier to read for everybody. So there you go.
Very cool. HemingwayApp.com.
HemingwayApp.com. Very simple to use. A lot of fun.
Is it free?
It is free. It is absolutely free. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
And there is a desktop version that you can pick up, which I do believe costs a few dollars if you want that instead of the online one. There's also a version, so you can download it for Mac or Windows, and I think it's like $7 for that. But you can use it right on the website, and it's completely free.
Well, I'll be using that.
I have used it quite a bit.
In many respects, I was probably a better writer when I was in college and high school because I was getting taught all the time and having. I remember Father Raymond at St. Bede Academy. That's how he talked in Peru, Illinois, and he had bad breath and he spit, and he was repulsive.
Oh, yikes!
But. He made me rewrite articles 5, 6, 7 times for the Beaten Breet, the school newspaper. If you went to St. Bede Academy when I did, you'd think that was funny. But, I mean, I had some good teachers back in high school and college, and I don't have those good teachers anymore. So, I've probably gotten a little lazy. So the Hemingway app could be my Father Raymond. You're probably getting tired of that invitation, aren't you?
Not at all. I want to hear more.
Yeah, right. And you never lie. It's the Online Marketing Radio Show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Today's show made possible by
Aweber, the easy way to do your email marketing, your newsletters, your client-grabbing, email-nabbing. I don't know. We can't come up with something try and make it sound even more exciting. But it's easy to use, and it's very, very effective. If you're not doing email marketing, you need to be. Even if you're quote just a plumber, you need to be collecting the leads. You need to be getting a list going. So check it out over at raythevideoguy.com/aweber.
Yeah, great way to build your list and
indeed,
and capture leads off your website. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. Get plenty of useful tips and news of the week. Go to VideoMarketingMadnessRadio.com, subscribe to us on iTunes, and get all kinds of freebies from Ray.
Yeah, I love freebies.
I do too. Okay, buddy, I think that wraps it up. Why don't we do the jingle to get us out of here?
Let's do it.
All right, there we go.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.